I should also...
Robertson, House, Gorman, Amer, Stoka, Atkinson, Holmes, Brown. Builders and athletes all. And then there are all those who will never be selected, and never nominated,
Mortar.
and of course, beyond their wildest dreams, never be inducted. Indicted, maybe. Never inducted. Norm, I'm going to take my few minutes here tonight to pay tribute to the generations who played sports but were not athletes, were not Hall of Famers. And I know you remember them as well as you remember the stars. And you remember those who were only on the team because there was nobody else around. And you remember who made the team by simply showing up, who were bodies. But this is not to denigrate the value of our contribution. Experience is experience, and we learned through it. How, for instance, to sit on a bench all afternoon
Cross-legged.
and still keep your dignity. How to run off the field in a squeaky clean uniform after a game in the mud and not feel self-conscious. And we learned how to lose graciously, how to look defeat in the mouth, how to maintain hope in hopeless causes, how to maintain hope at the end of the second period of the hockey game, even though the score is 14-0 for the other side. And we were a challenge to our coaches and athletic directors, challenging them constantly to find the words, the appropriate language, so important in times of critical moment. I quote the immortal utterance of Carleton Raven hockey coach, the late, great Bill Beveridge, at the end of the first period at St. Lawrence University in New York, the score being 9-0 for St. Lawrence. Boys, said Coach Bill, reaching into his treasure trove of imagery for these occasions. Boys, he said, you can't fight thunder with farts. And then there was the manager of the team, I recall, suggesting to the coach that maybe if the team threw a big party, it would boost morale, perhaps, have some fun, and set our spirits up. I got a better suggestion, said Coach Beveridge, who sometimes resorted to sarcasm to get his points across. I got a better suggestion, he said. Why don't you try having a hockey game for a change? Sometimes Coach Beveridge, God rest his soul, would stay in the dressing room for the third period.
Should we take those balloons down? Should we take those balloons?
Saying
they're not in the way,
he was too ashamed to go out there. For one game, it turned out to be our best game that season. Coach Beveridge devised a strategy that put new life into our offense. He made the left and right wingers solemnly swear they would not touch the puck. They were instructed to act strictly as decoys. The plan worked wonderfully, and we only lost the game 7-0. Once, during the third period of a game against the Ashbury Sissies, while Bill was in the dressing room, the manager rushed in to tell him excitedly, Bill, quick, come out, we scored a goal. Bill looked up from his magazine. What happened, he said. Did the other team go home early? Sometimes we'd see, while the game was on, Bill standing behind the other team's bench, chatting with the coach. And our sub-goalie, Billy the Sieve Puttycomb, he said that he saw Coach Beveridge patting some of the opposing players on the back and cheering them on. But we didn't believe Siv. Siv was a very bitter young man. The Siv, as his nickname implies, was not a very skilled goaltender. But the Siv wanted dearly to play. Put me in, coach, please, he would say. I can let in goals just as well as he can. We never could figure out why the Siv wanted to go in there. Hard to understand. It'd be like applying to be a mallard on opening day of duck season. Maybe it was the learning situation he wanted. Playing sports while you have little or no natural ability teaches you things. How to cope with anonymity, for instance. Allow me to illustrate, if I may, how I personally applied the skills I developed as a failed athlete in an entirely different field of endeavor. When I got into the book business, writing books for young readers, I began to seek publicity in order to sell the books. Part of the publicity involved radio interviews. Here is the situation regarding radio interviews. There are 3 categories of radio interviews. A, the interviewer has read your work and is prepared. These are easy and pleasurable. Here you are a star, a Hall of Famer, if you will. B, the interviewer has glanced over the material about a half hour before and at least knows who you are.